And hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Welcome to the Blue Couch and Company, where you are the Blue Couchers and you are my company on the Blue Couch. And what is today? Today is the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. And I'd like to welcome you all back again. I had a very enjoyable weekend. Hope that you all had a great weekend as well. And so I welcome you all back. Hope everyone's safe and sound and enjoyed, their week, their last weekend and their week. And so I tell you, we got one more Thursday in the month of December. But I think on next Thursday, I won't be doing the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show, given that it's so close to the holiday. And so I think I'll take that Thursday off. But again, I am your host, Tommi Faye Fulton, and you are on my show, the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show, where I welcome you, and hopefully you can find hope, healing, and encouragement from my show that I do. That's the intent of me doing the show, is to try to inspire you and try to bring hope and healing and encouragement to your life. And I hope that since I started the show, that you all feel some encouragement, you feel some hope, and maybe some of you have gotten some healing from some very difficult times and from some soul wounds that you may have incurred this year. And so just to get some preliminaries out of the way, you can visit my website to learn a little bit more about me at lovebeyondpain.com. And there you'll find my book, where you can also click on that link and it'll take you straight to Amazon, where you can order that, as well as my children's book, and Cooking for Grandma and Grandpa. It's a story about my 11 grandchildren, who are all the characters in the book. I am in the book as well as their grandpa. And so just read, about how kids are doing something to appreciate and be thankful for the grandparents they have in their life. I wish I had my grandparents. I wish I knew my grandparents, but unfortunately, I never met my grandparents, nor do I know my grandparents, or would have known my grandparents. So if you have grandparents in your life, do appreciate them. Do tend to them before the year is out. Do show them love and kindness and compassion as they go off into their reclining years. I'm down here in South Carolina, and a lot more people here have retired here. But these people are not old by far. They put me to shame when it comes down to the exercises that they do, and they are so vibrant and have a lot of life left in them. And so, age is only a number. It really, truly is, There is some people here in their 70s and 80s that would put some of you who are in your 30s and 40s to shame. And that includes me. So I appreciate the older people that's in our lives, and I appreciate the elderly. I just have a heart for infants, the elderly, and animals. And so doesn't mean I don't love everybody else. I do. But I have a place in my heart for those who are vulnerable and weak and helpless and cannot help themselves. And so that's just a part of who I am. And so I had a good weekend. My sisters came down and shared the weekend with me, and they enjoyed it. And as I said, we laughed, we ate, we debated, we hugged, we laughed, we ate, so forth and so on. And I really, really enjoyed seeing them and spending close to the end of the year with them. We don't never know what could happen. None of us know. So we need to love those while we are here and allow them to love us as well. So much is going on in the world these days, and This is not a happy time for a lot of people. A lot, millions of people all across the globe is having difficulties. And so if you're in your good health and in your good mind, and you got shelter and you got clothing and all the necessities of life that you have, be grateful. Be thankful for what you have and where you're at in life, because many people don't have that today. And so what are we going to do today? Well, I have done a lot of cooking this past week and last week as well. And I am going to try, and I say that word very lightly, I am going to try to bake another favorite dessert that my mom made. I have never made this before, which is her coconut custard pie. And I always have to revert back to my sisters when it comes down to certain dishes that my mom made and get the recipe from them, but I never know how it's going to turn out when I make it. I made sweet potato pies when they came this past weekend, and they loved it. And so I was so happy because I really didn't know how they turned out. I didn't taste it. I didn't cut into it to try to see what it tastes like. I just said, well, they're going to tell me whether it's good or whether it's bad. And so they enjoyed it. Trust me, they really enjoyed it. And so we had a great time. And my brothers, they didn't come, but I wish them well. And thank God for my brothers nonetheless. And hopefully in the new year, I will travel up north and get to see them and see some family members while I'm there. So we're going to get started today. You know, I don't have any particular topic or message or anything that I want to talk about today. You know, I'm always talking about hope, healing, and encouragement always. I can read you a little something, you know, towards the end of the show. But, you know, just be encouraged wherever you may find yourself during these holiday seasons. I know that it may be tough on a lot of us who are not with loved ones, or you're not with the one that you love, you know, due to unforeseen circumstances or due to a passing away of that person. And I am so sorry about that. I'm by myself for the Christmas holiday, and I'm going to make the best of my day. So, you know, that's all we can do. We can't change the past. We can't force people to love us and to be with us. You just let them go on about their lives, you know. And you do whatever you can to make your life enjoyable and make your life happy, and just carry on with life, because life only ends when you decide not to begin again. And so I thank God for the resiliency that He's given me through the Holy Spirit, that when tragedy comes or heartbreak comes or whatever the case may be, that He allows me to pick myself back up and start again. And there's nothing wrong with starting over. No matter how many times you got to start over, don't let nobody make you feel bad about it, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a business adventure, whether it's in education, whether it's in whatever it may be. You know, if it didn't work out, get back up on your feet and start again. It'll be all right. You're going to be all right. I'm all right. And so I encourage you to be all right as well as you go about life's journey. So we're going to get started with this. And like I said, I hope that it turns out. I don't know. This is my mother's coconut custard pie, another favorite that she made on Sundays with Sunday dinner, or she made for the holidays. But whatever she cooked, it was always good. There was never a disappointing moment when my mother cooked her meals. And let's see what we get started with. I'm going to get started with putting in 1 cup of carnation milk. So this is not whole milk. This is canned carnation milk. And this is 1 cup of carnation milk. So I'm going to put that in there. Voila. And I am going to put in, this is 14 ounces of sweet condensed milk. And so I'm going to add that to it, and this is 14 ounces. And I'm going to only make one pie since it's just me. There's no need in me making two. But if there's some batter left over, I can put it in the refrigerator, save it for another time. So this is 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. Put that in there. See how thick it is. And hopefully you all can see the bowl. That is really, really thick, and it's sweet. So the goal is to make this like a custard, okay? So I'm gonna add that in there. Put this in the sink. All right, stir that around a little bit. And the next thing I'm going to put in here is I'm going to add 1 cup of granulated white sugar. My sister said to put 1.5 cups, but since I'm using that condensed sweet milk, I'm just going to put this 1 cup in and save the half, and I'm going to taste it and see if it's sweet enough, because I don't want to over sweeten the custard part of this. Okay, so we're going to put 1 cup of sugar in there. And next I am going to put in, now she told me to put 4 eggs in, 3 to 4 eggs. And the eggs is what is really going to give it its stiffness, or its custard part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and crack 3 in, and we'll see what 4 looks like, or if I need to put another one in there. Okay, you want to make sure that everything is at room temperature when it comes down to your milk and your eggs and your butter. Okay, so I'm going to put, and these are large eggs. You want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 350 degrees. This is going to cook for about 45 minutes. You want to watch it, and when you see that, liquid kind of gel up and get stiff, and you see the crust is browning on the side, then you want to keep a close eye on that. Okay, and so 3 eggs look pretty good, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with what my sister told me and put in 4 eggs. How about that? So I'll put 4 eggs in. Okay. Alrighty. Step over here for a moment. Grab me a hand towel. And I need to get my butter spray for my crust. So I'll sit that right there. Okay, what's next? What's next? Put this in the sink here. I am going to put in 1 stick of soft butter. Make sure that that's real butter, not margarine, room temperature. And that's 1 whole stick of that. Okay, we'll set that aside. And the next thing I'm going to put in is 1/4 of vanilla extract into this. You always want to make sure that you got your vanilla. Put that in. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just shake a little bit of allspice in. Just shake it. Not too much, but just kind of shake it like that. Allspice. And the next thing and last thing is 1 cup of coconut. Okay. Now the coconut comes sweetened coconut, shredded coconut. This is shredded coconut. This is organic shredded coconut. You don't have to use organic. But this is not sweetened. This is unsweetened coconut. So you can choose to use sweetened coconut, shredded, or unsweetened. It's up to you. So this is unsweetened shredded coconut, and this is 1 cup of coconut. And so what my sister told me was that the coconut will end up rising, you know, once it's in the oven, it will end up rising, you know, to the top, and you'll have that custard at the bottom. You'll still have some coconut mixed in with the custard, but that coconut will rise to the top. And so what I'm going to do here is that I am going to use an egg beater today. All right, so it's going to be a little bit noisy for a moment while I beat this all up together. All right, put that in. I want to make sure that everything is mixed in together. Let me get me a spoon and kind of lift this, and what I want to do is I want to taste it as well to see if I need to add that other half a cup of sugar in. Give me 1 second. So let me taste it and see if it needs to be a little bit more sweetened than you know, what I put in there. That's pretty sweet. So I'm going to beat this a little bit more. All right, so sorry I had to leave you there for a moment. Just want to make sure that I got this all beaded really nice and everything mixed in, you know, together really well. Okay. All right, so we got our custard already. And it has a nice thick consistency to it. So just to recap, let me read this to you. Just to recap the ingredients that went into this, we put in 1 cup of carnation milk. We put in 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. We put in 1/3 ounce or spoon of vanilla extract, 4 eggs, 1 stick of butter, a half a cup of sugar, and 1 cup of shredded coconut. And we beat it, and you preheat your oven. I put in some, what did I put in? A little bit of allspice I put in there. You know, just to give it a little bit more flavor, okay? All right, so I got that done, and I'm gonna move my egg beater out the way here. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to just set this aside over here for a second. And I'm going to prepare my my pie pan. This pie pan is about 1 inch to 2 inches thick. And so if you want a deeper custard, you would use a 3 to 4 inch baking pan. But if you want just like a regular little slice of pie, that would be 1 to 2 inches thick in size. All right. So I'm going to take my spray. This is my butter spray, and I'm going to spray the bottom of my pie pan here. And that's just so that my crust won't stick to it. And then next I'm going to take my rollout dough here. Unlike my mother, she made her own dough. I haven't perfected that and haven't even attempted that, let alone perfect it. I was asking my sister this past weekend who in the family really knows how to make our mother's what we called back then hoe cakes. Hoe cakes were these biscuits that were about like that, but she made them from scratch. She made them herself from scratch. I put a little hole in my pastry there. So this is Pillsbury rollout dough, which I like better than I like the frozen pie pans, but that will work just as well. But I just like, because to me it just looks and feels more doughy. So I'm going to put that down here and shape it in my pie pan. So this was a really simple dessert to make, really quick. You can make it for your family for the holidays or for dinner. And you just want to, you know, cuff the edges over or pinch them down. You don't have to cut them off if you don't want to, but if you want to cut your edges off on your pie crust, that's up to you. It doesn't really matter. Okay. All right, so we got that down nice and tight and firm in the pie pan. And then I'm going to spray it again. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so I am going to put my pie and sit it in another pan so that, you know, when it gets ready to cook, it won't overboil in the oven. And so I have a pan here ready for that I'm going to sit it in. So I can carry it over to the oven and put it in. And there we go. So now I'm going to just stir my custard up a little bit more. And I'm going to pour that in. You don't want to pour it too much to the point that it just overflows itself, but you want to put it in just enough. All right, I guess a little bit more can go in that. Okay, I used up most of it, it looks like there. So this is going to cook in the oven. I don't know whether you guys can see that here or not, but this is going to cook in the oven for about 45 minutes. Tonight I put a Cornish hen in, which I we'll eat later on with some rice and some string beans, but it's a curry Cornish. Let me see if I can get all those C's out. Curry Cornish hen. Cornish. Yeah, I can be a little funny at times, you know. I'm not always serious. So we're going to put this in and let it cook for 45 minutes, 350 degrees, okay? Woo. I can do is wait and see how it turns out, and I'll take a picture of it and post it and let you all know how it turns out and how it tastes and how it looks too. So, but just to share with you all that I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there that support me and that encourage me and that blessed my life this year. You know, you've heard me talk about what a difficult year this was for me. I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now, is that, you know, my husband arrived from Africa in May, and so 2 months later he left. And so that was very difficult and very devastating for me at that time. But you know what happens when circumstances that is beyond your control, and pain and hurt that comes into your life. And the only reason why I'm sharing this with you is because someone out there may not know how to handle someone that you love and work very hard for, and someone that you anticipated on spending your life with just walks out of your life, you know, leave you holding a broken heart. I share those things with you. I share my personal stories with you to encourage you, you know, because had it not been for that incident of him arriving from Africa, only being here with me for 2 months, he obtained everything that he wanted in coming here to America. What it did for me was to really open up my eyes to a lot of things and open up my understanding. And it really catapulted me into my destiny, into what I always say the Lord still has for me. You know, we should never think that our lives are over just because someone walked out. But had it not been for that incident, I would not have started the Blue Couching Company and the Big Thumbs Up Thursday show. And so what it did for me was to bring hope and healing and encouragement to my life. And it gave me a testimony to share with you all, is that, you know, don't take it so personally when you know that you've done your best, when you know that you have given your all to someone, and they just walk away from the relationship. Don't fault yourself for that. You know, there's something that goes on beyond your control. There's something that was about that person that had nothing to do with me, and it has nothing to do with you. And so don't take your life and think it's over because someone left you or someone hurt you. Your life is not over. Your life is hid in Christ Jesus. And he said that he will perform the good work. He said, being confident of this very thing, that he who have begun a good work in you shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. And so that is my hope, that whatever comes and whatever goes in my life, that the work that God has established and started in me will be performed until he takes me home. And so I'm encouraged by that. Was it painful? Yes, it was very painful, very devastating to me. But again, God has given me Holy Ghost resiliency to pick myself back up and to start life again. And so from that situation, the Blue Couching Company began, and the Big Thumbs Up Thursday began. And I got to meet some great and terrific people along the way that is supporting me and that is helping me and that is partnering with me for the next leg of the journey. And so next year, I got another part of the Blue Couching Company that I will be coming out with on Wednesday, every Wednesday. And you can get to be a part of that as well. And so I'm excited that, you know, God specializes in taking things that are broken and putting them back together again, better than they were before. And so you be encouraged. and you be healed. You know, I think I talked about one time that, you know, for some, and even for me now, I would love, you know, for him to come back and confess things to me, you know, so that I can continue my healing. But if he doesn't, or if that person in your life don't come back and never say another word to you, you know, your healing doesn't stop because of their failure. Your healing continues to go on because we put our faith, our hope, and our trust in the one that designed us and the one that created us. And so he heals us from the inside out. And we are still beautiful in his eyes despite the pain. So if you've been hurt this year, I just want to say that I'm sorry that someone hurt your heart. But don't give up on yourself, okay? Don't give up on life. Don't give up on what, you know, all the goals, and I'm hot. Don't give up on the goals, the expectations. Don't give up on happiness. Create your own happiness, you know. Find your own joy and be happy with that. And then maybe one day God will send that perfect person. Not that anyone's perfect, but send the person in your life who truly does love you and appreciate you being in their lives. And so before I go, I just want to read something to you that I came across on Facebook that I thought was really interesting and really powerful. And I just want to share it with you. And so it says, be the person who breaks the cycle. Be the person, who breaks the cycle. And it says, and this wasn't something that I wrote. This is something, I think it's Empowered by Women. I'm not really sure. I should have gotten the right person on here. But it says, if you were judged, choose understanding. If you were rejected, choose acceptance. If you were shamed this year, choose compassion. Be the person you needed when you were hurting, not the person who hurt you. Vow to be better than what broke you to heal you. Instead of becoming bitter, act from your heart and not from your pain. Instead of becoming bitter about what someone else did that broke your heart, act with compassion and love and forgiveness from your heart and not from your pain. Far too often we have a tendency as human beings to react to the pain that we incur from others. And it's natural, it's normal sometimes to react in a way, but you don't want to go so far as to begin to hurt other people or vengeance or to try to get back at that person who has hurt you, because it'll do you no good. It'll only cause you more pain, more discouragement, more negativity in your life. So I encourage you today that whatever you have gone through and whatever comes your way, that you allow yourself to be healed and you allow yourself to be encouraged and you allow yourself to continue to have hope in your life for tomorrow. For God created tomorrow, and tomorrow is in his hand. Yesterday is gone. Today we have today. We are responsible for what happens today. So be encouraged and be hopeful for the upcoming year, and thank God for all that he has blessed you with this year. I thank God for my family. I thank God for my children. I thank God for my grandchildren, my sisters, everyone who is connected to me. I thank God for. And I especially thank God for the Blue Couchers, because you are my company on the Blue Couch. And today was the big thumbs up Thursday. And I appreciate you being with me and sticking by me and supporting me. And continue to do so. We got great things coming up in 2022. Be encouraged And don't forget to love someone, and don't forget to smile at someone. And I bet they'll smile back at you. Have a great day. Bye.